Hello students, welcome to Studies in Theatre MOOC program. We are continuing our discussion on artificial intelligence and theatre, taking it forward from the discussion that we had in a different lecture. I hope you have watched that because it will help you if you are coming in this lecture from there. So today's discussion, this lecture is focused on the various aspects of the theatre, the departments of production where artificial intelligence is present and will be present in future. So this is the premise of today's discussion. You know that this is for your basic knowledge, a quick recall of all that has been discussed by me in a lot of discussions about technology and artificial intelligence. One is like, what is its role in theatre? This is a question that we need to continuously asking, and it is revolutionizing the traditional sphere of theatre. It is also creating expansion of the arenas of imagination, creativity, innovation, because new tools and techniques have made very improbable things possible now in theatre. The script analysis to audience interaction to gathering responses to preparing for a production process, manuals to prototypes of different kinds of designing tools like set designing. Then for that you can have a prototype, or different kinds of planning can be done with the permeation of artificial intelligence. It is there and present in our processes. Then here we will also look at an overview of its application, how it is present in different application through the platforms, through automation, through algorithmic driven data analysis and other kinds of things which we have to decide as people of theatre, as part of our production team role and other kinds of things. Then how technology will evolve into future, how it will take us further into future, that will also be a discussion for today. So this has also been discussed in the past, but I'm presenting only those things which are going to be of relevance for the discussion of today. There are certain current trends like augmented storytelling, enhanced visual and auditory elements, and creative interactive environments, projection mapping to augmented reality overlays. All these things are already present, and these are the trends which are visible in theatre practice. Then real world examples include AI algorithms being used to analyze the audience preferences, popularity of certain films and other things, media productions, theatre productions, and then create performances in accordance with them. For example, a project called Beyond the Fence, which I gave an example of, it was such a production. Then collaboration is another feature that we have looked at. Ethical considerations and future projects, these are the things. Now we come to enhancing set design with AI. How with the help of artificial intelligence we can enhance the designing of a set. So here what you see is that AI technologies are not only giving opportunities for technical intervention in theatre and digital intervention in theatre, but they are also revolutionizing by offering innovative tools for creative exploration, efficiency and other kinds of things. So the dependence on AI driven software and application for conceptualizing, visualizing and optimizing the stage environments is changing the overall aesthetic feel of the sets, and the narrative impact is also visible on the performance of the play. There is something called automated design process. Here AI facilitates the automated design process where it streamlines the creation of sets, properties, scenic elements. Designers can utilize AI powered softwares to generate detailed 3D models, virtual renderings and simulations, significantly reducing time and labor intensive tasks associated with different kinds of stage designing techniques. Now when I say labor intensive, this looks very simplistic representation because it removes human labor. But we have to make a choice. Do we really want to remove human labor? So it's not something that it is mandatory for us to be adopted. And we also have to be careful that it removes human labor, because if we don't know and there is an uninformed adoption of such kind of things, then we may end up inadvertently harming those people who did not have a say in the decision making. So this is an important aspect. Then generative design techniques powered by AI algorithms allow set designers to explore a vast array of design possibilities. And these are based on specific parameters and constraints. Through this generative design tech tools, the set designers are doing a lot of kinds of permutations and configurations for what material should be used, what kind of spatial arrangement will be there on stage, and what will lead to the fostering of innovation, etc., etc. So these are some aspects. Then there are few more things like the virtual prototyping simulation, which is what? It is something that as I said, the word prototype. Now prototype means when you create a kind of a smaller version of something that you are going to do in future to test what will it look like and have an assessment whether to go in the right direction, it is going in the right direction. So that is prototype. You have prototypes of languages, a language shape or size, or some kind of culture that existed before the actual time period of a language. So the same kind is here, prototype. So artificial intelligence enables this virtual prototyping. You can have small modules of something that you are going to do beforehand, and this gives you an idea as a designer that what will it look like when it is actually executed. So here you can make a choice that you prepare a prototype with the help of artificial intelligence, but the original is not made by the artificial intelligence intervention. You can make it labor intensive process. It's a choice that we have to make. Then these virtual simulations can also create a clarity in our mind as a set designer, that where can the problem be if this set is erected, will it be functional to a certain extent, and how can you increase its usage, optimize its durability and the aesthetics, and so that it can make the whole idea of theatre very fruitful for everybody. So then another aspect is interactive and adaptive environments. So for set designers, artificial intelligence leads to interactive, adaptive set environments, because they dynamically respond to performers, audience and the other stimuli which is there. There can be something related to maintenance of temperature of the stage. You can simulate the temperature lowering or increasing the temperature, and a certain environment needs to be created on stage, and that can be done by this dynamic intervention of artificial intelligence, and that will give actors a very interesting feel. Well, that can also interfere in the actual aspect of in the process of theatre, because we feel that we need to visualize and imagine a certain scenario, and so that we can act like that and transport ourselves into it. So that is a choice, matter of choice. Then sensors, actuators and LOT devices into the set designs, they enable dynamic lighting. You know, people these days have actors on their body have lights, light sensors. When they move, the lights are on because of their movement. So those kinds of sensors are there, dynamic lighting, moving sceneries in the backdrop. These experiences give a rich theatrical experience to the audience. Then illustrative examples like, you know, artificial intelligence can give you the projects like Lion King, a musical play which utilize the advanced technology to create dynamic and immersive kind of an experience. And there are so many other kinds of tools that are important for modulating the stage elements, and that captivates the audience a lot. Then other aspects include, you know, are there some challenges, or will it have some future? Will it not make us confused? You know, these are challenges, these are the good things, but there are so many challenges. It needs lot of technical environment around us to do this kind of theatre. And there has to be interoperability with existing workflows. Artistic integrity might get diluted and compromised with the domination of the technological intervention and the dominance of technologists. So that prioritizing is important. Who will be at the center? Who will make the decision making? That prioritizing should not go away. Designers must always try to navigate with these challenges. They must not get carried away with the idea that if they will put in lot of technology, then the play will look very good. Because then they will take away the whole soul of the performance. The idea of theatre may not remain there. So the human creativity, craftsmanship must be the basic foundational principles, guiding beacons for all kinds of things. Then I think the prioritizing will fall into its place. And when we look at its future, you know, it looks that this is not going to stop. The innovations are going to continue. The idea of augmented reality, virtual reality and collaborative design platforms, these are going to be in future even more advanced and even more pervasive in our performance cultures. We cannot stop them. So we have to be ready for this evolution. The traditional stagecraft is taking a new shape and new face. It's a rebirth for it. But let us not make it happen without the intervention and the centrality of art as the main paradigm. Then we look at this lighting and sound design. Then what is happening in the sphere of light and sound design? Similar to the set design, the AI technologies are transforming lighting, sound design to such an extent that there is a lot of creativity, lot of efficiency for the immersive experience. The mood, the atmosphere and the storytelling all have undergone a complete dynamic change, and the environment has become very responsive. The automated light design processes, you know, where designers can generate complex cues you understand, the whole program, the whole arrangement of light, its effects, its sequences with precision, with efficiency. And this is also, you know, offering color schemes, intensity variations of lights. You can make it hard, soft, sharp. So many variations are there. Synchronize it seamlessly with every emotional beat in the stage, every emotional development on the stage, the affective shifts in the performance of the actors. And soundscapes and acoustic modeling is such a brilliant feature of this whole scenario, because it creates it gives designers to manipulate the audio elements with precision and enforcing a kind of realism if it is required to be created. And they can also employ AI algorithms to analyze the spatial dynamics of the stage and optimize the reach of sound and its distribution in the entire arena where people are sitting, and how it will be more immersive for people to sit and watch. So this is these aspects. And like, you know, if you look at the real time adaptation and response, because AI technologies enable the light and sound design to collaborate with each other, and it becomes a real time experience, because audience, when they react to this kind of response, this kind of environmental condition that is created for them as reality, their response becomes very precious. So smart lightings which are attached to you know, sound systems, according to sound the lights are functioning. This is a very interesting collaboration. Then enhanced creativity and experimentation, where, as it is very clear by now that so much is possible with creativity and experimentation. Some examples like, you know, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Although it is in this, you know, the light driven AI driven lighting and design includes is create for magical and immersive environment. Very interesting scenario is visible. So then if there are further, like, how do we go from where should we pick and where should we give up? Does it have something bad to it? The challenges are there. The transforming potential of light needs to be harnessed for the creativity. It should not hamper the creativity, it should not dominate the creativity. And the artistic experiences must not be made as having achieved, as have been achieved through the demonstration of only AI, but it should appear as some kind of beautiful seamless collaboration between technology of sound and technology of light and human efforts. In future, you know, we are going to see more and more frontiers where theatrical design will have more options to have immersive experiences where lights and other kinds of things will be participating. And now we come to very important thing, and that is automation and robotics in stagecraft. What is automation? The word automatic is present in our vocabulary. It is something very common. Automation is related to that. So something which has self-working model, which has self-working principle. It can work on its own. That is automation. And robotics, of course, you know, the field of robots, the study of robots, the whole field of robots. So these two things are playing a very significant role in the modern stagecraft. The set construction, movement of actors, special effects, they are enhanced by these aspects. Then automation and robotics enhance efficiency, precision, and lot of possibilities are added for the creative purpose. So the storytelling, the plot, the characters acting, it all becomes very pronounced with this method, with this technique. Automation systems facilitate construction of set pieces, props and scenery with perfect shape, perfect measurement and consistency. Robotic arms, winches and motorized platforms automate set changes, scene transitions, complex movements, reducing manual labor and streamlining production workflows. Like, if we are not looking to reduce the human labor, what we can all use these things are for minimizing the dangers that exist for a lot of theatre workers when they are working in very dangerous kinds of you know, if it's something very high, or a trolley has to be regulated, or a kind of arrangement has to be erected. So for all those dangerous things, automation can be of very important use. Then special effects and magic are two things which can be created because of robotics. Because practically you can make things happen because of robotics on the stage. A kind of fantastical element, if some play has fantasy component, then this can be made use of. Then automated mechanisms can control lighting, pyrotechnics and mechanical effects that will lead to very new kind of feel for the audience. Then other aspects of stagecraft where automation and robotics can intervene are the performance and choreography, because they can enable actors to interact with the automated elements and a dynamic environment on stage. And the movements choreographed, synchronized actions between performers and the robots can sometimes enhance the visual spectacle also. We can make some kind of sci-fi plays or plays about multiverse, metaverse, and use these elements in them. They also inspire some ideas and expressions where even designers can create their own tools and techniques to give some shape to their visuals, to visual dreams, artistic visions. And they are also expanding the boundaries of traditional stagecraft. The kinetic sculptures, moving platforms, interactive installations, they are blurring the distinction between art and technology. Technology can anytime transform into art, and art can anytime border on technology, but they can go together to make theatre happen. Practical considerations and safety measures are important for taking, they should be addressed. We must prioritize safety protocols, risk assessments must be done beforehand, and training programs are important for these kinds of things. Some of the examples of this kind of work are these, The Lion King, which I already told you. Then there have been some plays where robotic set pieces and automated effects have been used in theatrical spectacles. The future is not known, to say the least. It may have both ways. It can become a very big world for us to open, or the changes may be very short-lived, but things are going to stay, that is for sure. Because as these things are evolving, then more and more stagecraft techniques are going to be impacted by robotics as well as automation. Then virtual reality and augmented reality in theatre, that is VR and AR. These are very significant transformation processes, and they impact the landscape of theatrical experiences while offering immersive as well as interactive storytelling opportunities. Now, what is the meaning of virtual reality? Means a reality that is created through the virtual platform. The virtual environments are created, immersive narratives are created, and it transports the audience to fantasy world. It transcends physical boundaries, physical limitations, and augmented reality overlays the digital content into the real world. So both are working to create reality, but from different perspectives. Which is more real, which is more important is not important, but the balance between the two is very crucial. So visual effects and information overlays through AR, that is augmented reality, can do wonders in theatre. They also enhance the audience participation, audience engagement, because audience can interact with virtual characters, they can talk to them, they can manipulate these objects, they can also influence the narrative outcomes and create probably unique experience for themselves and for the world of theatre to record and keep it for future. Then innovative set design and digital scenography is also involved in virtual reality and augmented reality, because these two techniques inspire innovative set design. They are influencing the set designs too. They are influencing things like digital projections, holographic displays, immersive installations, and they totally transform the traditional stage. I'm sharing all that I have to say on the screen because I want all of you to benefit maximum from these lectures. These topics are not easy to be handled in the discussion of theatre, and it is a new area, and not everywhere you can find things being discussed in such a simple way. So even though some of the points are existing in different lectures already, but to put them in a consolidated form and give them a perspective of artificial intelligence and arrange them in the order of theatre studies, stagecraft and everything is important. So I am sharing these things on screen so that you can read these screens with ease and focus, even if I am not reading out or explaining each and every word here, because that is not required for me to do. Because I have been discussing this a lot. So, they are giving you new directions, the VR and AR, and Sleep No More is a production. A lot of videos of Sleep No More are available on YouTube. I advise you to go on YouTube and see them on your own. I cannot present them here, but you will understand that what I am trying to say, because people wear those glasses, those augmented reality and virtual reality glasses, and then go to watch those plays, and the entire building is converted into the site of performance. I did discuss this with you earlier, and each room is the scenario where people are walking through. It's an adaptation of Macbeth, and what happens in Macbeth is happening in this play. In every room there are different kinds of characters sitting and doing their bits, so audience can walk through the characters, and it looks very palpable and a very thrilling experience, because Macbeth not only is a play of tragedy, but it is also a play of thrill and fascination, awe and wonder of this power game, the suspense, the fear, and all that is recreated by this in the play Sleep No More, and that is why it is a very significant discussion. You find it's mentioned in so many talks on virtual and AR reality. So the challenges that the considerations of AR and VR integration are facing are, accessibility is a problem. You need technical expertise. It cannot be done easily unless some innovations are being done and they are accessible for everybody. So I'm sure the people today, young generation, they are so much into technology and other things that they will continue working on it, and they will develop things of very interesting nature, the gadgets and tools of very interesting nature, which will be making it more accessible. And sometimes technical glitches can also be very important thing. So that is an issue for us to understand. So under presents is an immersive VR experience. Try and have more information about it from different sources. The future direction and emerging trends are also important too for AR and other kinds of things as well. So designers, artists, they need to continuously self-educate themselves, enhance the whole idea of theatrical experience, to be more and more in tune with the world that we are living in, the technological world, the artistic world. That is going to make it more useful. In addition to this, what we can say here is AI generated scripts and storytelling. So we can also generate scripts with AI, and I have tried these tools on my own to have some experience so that I can discuss about it, I can talk about it. It is very interesting, but it cannot replace human beings as of now. So we don't have to make a hue and cry as if the entire humanity or human existence is going to be challenged in the world of theatre. But it is some kind of exciting paradigm, and let us see how we can make use of it. So playwrights and storytellers, text writers, they can make use of this. There are a lot of free platforms and paid platforms, and if you have to spend money, why would you spend money on a software when you can use your own mind? And who will use that platform, that software? Somebody who cannot do the thinking and do the action with his or her own mind. So how is it replacing those people who are able to do it? They are always going to be relevant. This is what I feel. I may be wrong, but this is something that I want to share with my students so that they can continue thinking about these things. There are automated script writing softwares where scripts can be written. You can change the existing scripts, generate more dialogues, ask for suggestions in the plot lines and how to create a conclusion. And you can have some inputs provided to the platform and it will talk to you, it will chat with you. You need to continuously make changes and do whatever you want with the final product. So you need to just identify your themes, your plot structures, character archetypes and give it a prompt, and then that prompt will be translated or transformed into a script which you can approve, and then that script can be translated into proper dialogues and everything. So that is this one thing. It has a lot of challenges, and I think it is not a very exciting kind of a success because it's still so many loopholes and drawbacks are there. The language is not very entertaining, it is not creative, it is not aesthetic, and there is a lot of homogenization of storytelling because these AI tools gather the information from the existing kind of plays and stories on the internet platform and try to repackage it so it can probably not give something very fresh, something very unique, but it is an option and it is happening, so why not know about it? Then we need to have, probably take its help as a tool to facilitate ourselves into training of script writing or story writing or dialogue writing, play writing, rather than rejecting it outrightly and then ending up not gaining at all even on our own efforts. So try it as a tool and then you can always reject it if you don't want to continue with it. Then these examples like AI generated script include Sunspiring, a short film written by an AI algorithm called Benjamin, which explores the surreal themes and nonsensical dialogue. You can Google it and try and read it. Maybe you will find something funny, you will be excited to have some more experiment of your own. So these technologies are evolving the world of playwrights, directors and performers. They have an opportunity to update themselves, they have an opportunity to know where they stand and revitalize their own art by using technology as just subservient to their energy, their ideas. Then you have interactive audience experiences with AI, how audience can participate. I already told you about it. There are a lot of platforms where AR and VR enhancements are available. It supports the audience into different locations, different time periods, different fictional world, different physical world, and they are able to participate in it. Then audience can also respond to things. Audience response has been can be channelized for creative excellence, for creative progress, because AI can generate algorithms of people's behaviors, their preferences, and then that can act like a feedback mechanism for the playwrights and storytellers and performers, actors, designers to engage themselves with audience via media of AI driven data. So these chatbots and conversational interfaces where audience is talking, audience is responding, audience is asking questions, probably you are not there all the time to respond to that, but there are some generic questions which can give audience the feel that somebody is talking to me about theatre, and then that can invite that audience into more of theatre knowledge and inspire that person into engaging with theatre more, even though you did not have to take the pain of talking to that person all the time, because it is not humanly possible for one theatre person to be accessible to all the audience members of his or her production. So that role is very important. This gap can be filled in with the AI driven chat box or conversational interfaces, and audience can be called back into love for theatre when they have lost interest because they are participating in theatre. Then gamification and reward systems, sensory and haptic feedback technologies where scent emitters, spatial audios. I told you about all these things. The chairs can have some feel. There can be smells of the performances. The scene related scents can be spread out through diffusers. So those things, and then accessibility, because the sound, the light, the chairs, the whole idea of writing about theatre, talking to the actor or responding to something is not now a privilege of only few. The theatre is once you are inside that premises, it is accessible to all equally. Ethical and privacy considerations are important in this case, because audiences' privacy, as they should not be just treated as some kind of data, but some kind of very important individual, and that is a challenge. So these are some of the examples: virtual reality experience like Sleep No More, Sunspring, Bandersnatch and Touch You, where AI applications in theatre were used to engage the audience. So the overall integration of AI in theatre production leads to enhanced creativity and innovation. It can be cost saving, but in the long run, because it's not cost saving to begin with, because there is no AI intervention tools, no electricity or nothing called gadgets. So it is a long journey to go for, but in the long run it can create some kind of cost saving. And customization and personalization, because people are these days very much habitual of doing these things, because they always are looking for customized avatars, customized dresses, personalized mobile phones. So this whole idea of technology as a servant to me needs to be celebrated in theatre, but with a very significant caution that at the end of the game it should not overrule the existence of humanity in theatre. And then these are more benefits: cross-disciplinary collaboration, it gives audience engagement through data-driven insights, it leads to adaptability conditions, and of course you can be present in the entire globe through AI platforms and AI tools. But very important thing is, the implementation cost is high and ethical and privacy concerns are to be met with. Dependence on technology should not be aimed at replacing human effort. It should just be a servant, it should just be subservient to human spirit, human desire and human vision. Except adaptation and resistance to change, if we are very rigid towards it, then there may be problems. So it can represent bias. This is the biggest concern, that it can manipulate only algorithmic data, and that means it can lead to biases. Maintenance and upkeep is expensive. Audience need to accept it. They may not like it in the beginning, and we should have some regulatory and legal frameworks to run these kinds of systems in our performance spaces. So this is a discussion about very specific aspects of theatre and AI. In one more lecture on this topic, I am going to introduce you to some very interesting aspects that have not been covered so far. So that's it. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. See you in a different lecture.